All right, so my plan today is to actually get my bike prepared for waxing the chain. I need to tear the bike down, take the back wheel off, scrub it all up, make it all clean, and get the chain all cleaned up so we can do that. This is said bike. All right, first we got to take the back tire off. Some tires are the quick release, which this is, and some aren't. So you'll need an Allen wrench if it's not a quick release. But like I said, this one happens to be a quick release. So now I'm going to take that tire off. So first, flip the little handle, slide the tire down, take it off just like this. Tire's off. Now we can see the cassette a little bit better. All right, in order to break the chain next, we got to have a chain breaker tool. I have a Parks Tool CT 3.3. I really like it. It's got a sturdy handle so you can really get a good hold on it, and it doesn't feel like it's going to break in your hand when it's tightening. Plus, if you can see, that pin is nice and long there, so it'll drive that pin inside the chain all the way out, because some of the cheaper ones, it's really short and very fat, and you may end up messing up a link. So highly suggest right tool for the right job. All right, now that we got the chain off, take a look. That's pretty dirty. Some would say, definitely replace it if it looks pretty bad, but I do have a chain checker tool, and it did still show that it was still a good chain. It's not to 0.5 yet. So for a good learning experience, this is my second time doing this. I'm gonna go ahead and stick with this chain, and I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up now. I got me a little container, went to Dollar General, a little plastic container. That little handle will spin, kind of locks it down to the side so no fluid gets out. And the fluid that I'm gonna be using today for the first few go-arounds is Zep. That stuff works really good, and it's relatively inexpensive, so highly recommend it. I used it on the other one that I did, and it came out perfect. And then after you use that, get all the main stuff off of it, then what you use for the last one that I found that works really good is this denatured alcohol. I guess they also call it marine grade camp fuel, so that works really good. That'll be the last one, so once you get all the big stuff off, that will really help get any of the residue from that Zep and any other stuff that's on there off, and it'll dry quicker because it's alcohol, it evaporates quick. So always also gloves for safety. You don't want to get that stuff on your skin, it can be bad. And also some safety glasses. Mine are over here somewhere, I will find them, and we'll get at it. One other thing to note when you're using your Zep to degrease your chain, you don't need tons of it. Here's my chain inside the container, so you don't have to fill it all the way up. Otherwise, you're just wasting product, Just enough to cover the chain. Let's see if I can get her here in view. So we'll keep pouring. There we go. You can see it's just enough to cover that chain. Then I'm going to put the lid on. Just like that. Turn the little handle. Shake it a little bit. Get it starting to work. You can kind of see pretty quickly it'll start to get darker than what it was. But I'm going to shake it for 5 minutes, and then just let it sit, let it do its thing. And it's all subjective. So basically just let it do the work. Let that degreaser really break into it, especially if that chain's old and it needs a lot of time to get in there and really break that stuff loose. So just sit there, give it a good shake, let it sit for a little bit, shake a little bit more, and then when you feel like that first bath's good, you can dump that out and go on to the next. Just wanted to show you a few seconds in, I don't know, probably 45 seconds to a minute. See how much darker it's already getting? That's all that old road grime. This is obviously off my mountain bike, so all that dirt and grease and everything that's stuck to that chain. So, yep, just keep it shaking. Also, in between each bath, you want to rinse the chain off real good, and then wipe it down. I mean, I know it's a little extra step wiping it down and rinsing it every single time, but I feel like it just rinses all those impurities and all that junk out. Then you go to that second bath, and then so on and so forth, third, fourth, however many you need, until once you put that chain in, you sit there and you shake it for 5 minutes or whatever, and you don't see any stuff turning dark like this, and it's still the orange from when it came out of the container. That's when you know you're good and you can move to that last 1 or 2 baths with that denatured alcohol. So just keep that in mind. Alright, so we're pretty much done with that first bath. You can see, pretty dark. I do not pour this stuff down the drain. I do pour it in a little container, and I do take it to my local place where you can take used chemicals and stuff, and they will take care of it for you, and they'll dispose of it in a safe manner. So that's what we're going to do now. Had my little brush here, just kind of scrubbing on the chain before I dumped it out here. So do that. Pour this out. Oh yeah, nice and black. Holy moly. So you remember what that chain looked like before. Definitely getting better. Not near as bad. So, I'm going to take this, rinse it off a little bit. There's some tap water. Get it nice and clean. That. And then I'm going to take my little bucket. Just get the little funky out of here. Like that. And then we're going to stick it. Then we're going to stick it back in, and we're going to go for another bath. So I'll see you after that bath. So check it out. Not too bad. If I can get it in focus here. A heck of a lot cleaner. When I run the rag over it, it comes up clean. You can see if we can get in focus here. Some of those pins, nice and shiny and clean. So now on to the denatured alcohol. All right, done with the last bath with degreaser and ran it through the bath with alcohol. Think it came out pretty sweet. So we can show you after 2 baths of degreaser and 1 bath of the denatured alcohol. Here's a rag, no dirt on it. Put the chain in the rag, run it through, Look at that. Nothing. Nothing at all. We'll do it one more time. You can hear it. There is nothing inside those links at all. We'll go all the way from the beginning. Keep pulling it. Keep pulling it. Look at that. Nothing. So, as you can hear, as you can see, beautifully clean. You can do this with non-bike specific stuff and it works absolutely perfect. All right, next step I'm going to do while I'm letting that chain dry completely out, and if you're in a hurry and you want to speed up the process, you can use a hair dryer, you can use a heat gun, anything like that. Or if it's during the wintertime and you have a heater running in your house, you can set it close to the heater just so that chain dries completely. So there's no moisture left in there, which obviously at this point would just be that denatured alcohol. So it should flash off pretty quick and not, stay too long. And while we're waiting on that, I'm going to start working on the bike. I'm going to get the cassette on the back wheel all cleaned up, and I'm also going to do the chain rings, and I'll take some pictures as I'm going, maybe some video footage while I'm doing that, and then I'll show you when I'm done with that. All right, now I'm getting ready to start cleaning the chain rings. So right now my bike's on the bike stand, got some of my brushes here, and then down here at the bottom, I got a little container. I usually kind of put it underneath the chain ring so it will kind of catch its stuff while it drips off while I'm cleaning. By the way, some of the brushes I was talking about earlier, one is this brush. And I have, of course, old school toothbrush. And I know some people might disagree, but a little brass brush. Brass is real soft. But I use that on, especially the cassette. I'll sit there and scrub it because some of that stuff's been on there forever. And I try to be gentle. I don't go crazy with it. And I know just be really careful with this. So here we go. Got some degreaser down here in my little bowl. Good old handy old toothbrush. Always works good. Just start scrubbing. Get in all the nooks and crannies. Find all the gears. There you go. Boy, that's taking a lot of that goo off. All right, we've come outside to do the cassette because it's a little bit more cumbersome with the big tire, trying to keep it inside that little bucket I had. So, trying to get in between all those teeth, scrub as good as I can. This may take a little bit, because like I said, it's been pretty dirty for quite an amount of time. See if we can get a little closer here so you can see. It's getting there. Alright. Now we're going to use brass brush. That really breaks off all that old wax or grease or mud and grease and mud and whatever, lubricant that's turned into concrete. Like I said, hasn't seen a bunch of love. Now, gonna put a bag over the rotor when I rinse this off really good, because I don't want to get a whole bunch of contaminants all over it when I start splashing water everywhere. So yeah, it's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. Take a little bit of this here water. Oh, look at all that brown come out of there. Woo! Yeah. Looking a lot better. Let's see. I think now down inside each individual ring, I'm going to clean that out with a pipe cleaner. So I'm going to go grab those real quick. Okay, I don't know if you can see in there or not. We're getting there. It's getting a little shiny, not near as greasy. All right, and with chain back on, nice and quiet. Purrs like a kitten. Well, hope that helps.